Hey, welcome to Joe's Multiverse. Was that too dramatic? Anyway, I'm Joe, and the universe that we're going to be entering today is the universe of superhero movies. That's right, we're going to be playing another rousing game of the 5 superhero movies in this box. This box right here. This is how we play. I'm going to take 5 movies out of this box, pick them out one by one. I'm going to show them to you. I'm going to talk about them, and then I'm going to rank them 1 through 5. That's about it. All right, let's get started. And the first pick of the day is Batman Begins. Let's take this cover off because it's I guess that does show up kind of good on there. But anyway, it is the 2-disc deluxe edition. All right, everybody's favorite Batman. You know, this was well done. I remember when this came out, I didn't have any problem with Christian Bale. That I remember with him. I never was somebody that threw a hissy fit about who was going to be playing Batman, like it happens a lot online and everywhere else. But the thing about this movie with me and all 3 of them is the first 2 of these are just, I watched them too many times, so they're kind of played out. So when people talk about it, it's like I want something like fresh, you know. And I really enjoyed the 3rd one, and that's the one that's kind of been ranked the lowest. But I loved the 2nd one with Heath Ledger, and I thought that was, you know, the best Joker up until that time. I mean, he's pretty much still the best Joker. It's just so played out. Like, I love Jared Leto. It was fresh. I know everybody hated him, or most people, or whatever, but I can't wait to see him again. The tiny bit that we're going to see in the Snyder Cut coming up. But excellent. I mean, that's how you do a Batman movie. I need to keep it fresh. I watch these movies too many damn times, but hope that wasn't too much explanation, but that is the number 1 pick. Let's get through it. All right, the 2nd pick of the day is X-Men Origins. X-Men Origins Wolverine. At the time, I wasn't online. I had no idea it was so hated on. I had no idea who Deadpool was. I loved this movie. This movie right here was so entertaining. It had so many different characters I hadn't seen. I know there's a lot of characters that could have done better, especially, you know, Deadpool and all that. And then they had a different Sabretooth. It's too bad those 2 couldn't be the same. But all the X-Men movies from Fox have been kind of convoluted and haven't flowed with each other perfectly. But I think a lot of us have just accepted that. And the Fox X-Men's that's done. So, but I know, I mean, I think differently about this movie now because I know who Deadpool is and how he's supposed to be done. But you know, I enjoy this movie. I liked this movie. And ignorance is bliss. And since I didn't know that it wasn't done well at the time, I really enjoyed it. So, but that's just me. All right, pick number 3. The Batman Superman movie. This is an old one. This came out in like 1997. It is an animated movie. It is the old, Batman and Superman from the 90s. And this, in my opinion, is, I almost want to say, the best animated movie ever made, but I won't go that far. This has, in my opinion, the best scene in any animated movie ever made. And it's when Batman and Superman meet in this movie for the first time. And spoiler alert, Batman comes crashing down into this like nightclub, and the lights are on, or the lights are flashing, the strobe lights, and it's this the girls are dancing in like the stripper cages or whatever, and comes down, starts throwing people around, and then all of a sudden Batman comes up behind him and grabs him and I think Batman like throws a punch at him and then gets tossed, and Batman's on the floor, and Superman looks at him with his X-ray vision and looks behind the mask, and he's like, Bruce Wayne, and he's like, Batman's like, you peaked, and then they have a conversation, and they go their separate ways. Batman disappears, and then Superman flies up, up to his balcony apartment, and he's taking off his cape and stuff, and sexy Lois Lane calls him on the phone, and he's sitting on the bed and he's talking to her, and he looks over and he sees this little red button like flashing on his cape, and it was a Batman tracker, and he looks at it and he hangs up with Lois, and he starts walking out towards the balcony, and he looks out the window, and his vision gets closer and closer, and he sees Batman way off, into the city on top of another building with binoculars, and he knows he's Clark Kent, and Superman's like, touche, and so they know who each other are, and Batman's just like, and disappears. I was like, I used to tell that story all the time. I love this animated cartoon, this Batman Superman movie. It's cool. Anyway, all right. Pick number 4, and Daredevil. All right, I know what everybody's feelings is on this movie. It's the only Daredevil movie that we have. It's not the only Daredevil. I mean, Charlie Cox is, of course, the one that's killed it and has made the best Daredevil. And if he doesn't get put into the Marvel movies or something like that, or never plays Daredevil again, it's going to be a real crying shame. But this movie here wasn't bad. It's not as bad as a Green Lantern. But it's the only Daredevil movie we have. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. If you hard up for Daredevil, what the hell. But it's pick number 4. And then the final movie of the day is Deadpool. Speaking of Deadpool. All right, Deadpool done right. This came out and just dominated and killed and was awesome. I remember when it came out in February of 2016. A friend of mine said, you have to go see this movie. I didn't know a whole lot about Deadpool. I knew that him and Deathstroke were kind of, one was DC, one was Marvel, had a lot of similarities. But this was great. They did everybody a big favor introducing him, letting Ryan Reynolds play him. Ryan Reynolds has done, when we look back at this in 20 years or even 10 years back at the MCU, what they're going to be doing with Deadpool is going to be such a huge influence on the Marvel movies and the way he's tentatively going to be showing up in them. And this is just a great superhero movie, and it has it all, right? So Deadpool. All right, let's rank these. Let's see if Ben, my friend, can figure out how I'm going to rank these. Alrighty. And after I went on and on about the Batman, Superman. Well, yeah, I'm going to go with that. All right. The top 5 out of these 5. That doesn't make any sense. But, all right. Number 5, of course, Daredevil. It is what it is. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Number 4, probably to nobody's surprise, is Wolverine. I like this movie. This one, I could probably, I don't know. I would actually, if I was gonna watch any of these movies, if I had to sit down and watch any of these movies right now, out of these 5, it would actually probably be this one. So, however that works. But, yeah. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I liked it. There's some things I don't like, but I liked it. All right, number 3. even though I went on this the most, I'm going to give the number 3 spot to the Batman Superman movie. It's just got one of the best scenes. I could talk about that all day. I wish they could have done something like that in Batman v Superman when it should have came out, which like probably shouldn't have even came out yet, or maybe coming out now, you know, or something like that. But this is awesome. But it's a number 3 spot. And then between these two, a lot of people probably have their own personal opinions and say what they will, but I'm going to give the number, I always say 4, I'm going to say 2. Number 2 spot to Batman Begins. Yeah, it's a great Batman movie. Anytime I do watch this, then I have to watch the second one, and then I watch the third one. You know how that goes. But number 2, and then the number 1, of course, to nobody's surprise. Deadpool. Deadpool. That's... what else can you say? All right, that is the top 5 movies in this box. If anybody has any suggestions how I can do this better, I almost used a paper bag. I liked using that bigger box, but moving that around and having all those movies in there, I'd rather just grab, you know, superhero movies and throw them in here and pick out of there because it's just easier. But if there's some other way that I can do that, that would be more appealing or better or whatever. All right, do me a favor, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give it a like, all that good stuff. Do a comment, you know, good or bad, whatever. But we will see you again next time we enter the multiverse. See you later.